Why hello there, fellow metallurgists. Rodamon here. Thank you for tuning in to Vintage Story Primitive Survival. Episode 51, Fabricating Kitchen Fixtures. There we go. First time we've made brass. Brass is, outside of torch holders, not a particularly useful metal to have, I will add. And then the other thing I wanted to do is to make lead. I'm not going to bother melting this lead down right now because I don't have free ingot molds, but we'll do 4 lead ingots for potential windows as well. Oh, let's put this back. So let's polish up the lime we've got. Can brass be used for other door parts? It can be used for keg taps and buckles, apparently. That is it. It's not like you could make it out of into scales. I don't know. There's stuff that you can make it into, but I don't believe there's like brass armor or anything like that. There's lanterns, fishing hooks, and that's about it. It's very limited. You can't even make brass parts. Okay, we had some, this one, because it's a bushmeat animal, we got some sinew. This blood spoils in like 6 hours, so maybe I'll try to like make a blood stew or something. In here it lasts for 1.8 days, so it's gonna go bye-bye soon. I'll clean the offal, but I don't think I'm gonna make anything out of it in the near future. And then alright, there's the dry sinew. Okay. So, I don't know where to put the wet sinew. I'll just put it here. Where to put my, lime blocks? Does blood dough? Yeah, I could make blood dough. In the smith's chest? Thanks. Totally blanked on that. I have a lot of grains that I could grind up to make use of that. I'm just focusing on one thing at a time. So now we've got a whole bunch of polished lime rock, which is going to allow us to, I'll keep that, to have a shinier kitchen surface. And the idea here was to replace this row with lime. Let's get rid of the bunch of candles. And in fact, there, next to the bed that I never, ever, ever use. So I have 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Perfect. I said I needed 16. I just, like, took a guess. And, I was right. And then maybe 17, 18? These shelves here? I might, if I'm sprucing that up, I might want to find a different place for my wood. And then I can do inlays for where I have the stoves. The fire pit. One of the nice things is it appears to be like it's in the same color wheel, if you will, as the rammed earth. So it looks like it belongs. I don't have any future plans. It's all based on polling, so can't tell you until it's voted on. Alright. Doesn't look that much better, but it's different. Let's tend to the brass and put the clay oven back. I think I'll put this here. It's too bad I don't have an overhang here. Maybe I'll build one eventually for firewood. And I could also have like a tool rack for the tools that I have here so they're not just like leaning. All right, let's do the torch holders. Still soft, but it's about to harden. And then they're gonna get heated up in the forge, and then I'm gonna see if I have enough wind power to process them into plates without me doing anything. Wind's rather low, but I think it's enough hammer power right now, enough mechanical power to actually process it, if I was to guess. So once these are hot enough, we'll plop them on the anvil, hammer into plates, and we'll have our eternal torches in no time. Now there's also something to be considered, which is if we have eternal torches in both the forge and the kitchen, we may want to move the lanterns we've got. Not that lanterns are hard to make now that we have a health hammer, but we might want to move our lanterns to illuminate different sections of the base. That's food for thought. And I think what I'll do is I'll help out a little bit initially by doing some heavy hits. So essentially, every strike here will move a voxel into position automatically with the health hammer. And if I can heavy hit things into where they should be, it'll just speed it up a little bit. So I don't intend to really work this a lot. I'm just going to make some, like, quick and dirty edits. Because you don't want it to go so slow that it cools. That's mostly the concern. Okay. Next, let's get like a cutting board looking thing. Oh, yeah, cutting board looking thing. I think I'm gonna put a cutting board here next to the butchery. So let's do 2x2. I'm gonna have it be not deep. Excuse me. There we go. Oh, dang it. And this is essentially the inlay mechanic, where you can cut away a material and then drag in another material to add back in. So now we have, and I'll, you know what I'll do? To make it look right, well, I guess there was no point if I put it on top like that. Well, I can always remove this if I don't like the look. You know, I know what I could do. It's over here. And how are these going? Oh, we have our first plate. Now, if the wind was higher, this would obviously be a lot faster. Crafty, to answer your question, each strike is the same. It moves one voxel into place, but the more power, or the higher the wind speed, the quicker this would work. And then if there's not enough wind power, the Hellhammer won't work at all. So if it's turning too slowly, it ceases to even function. So there is a minimum wind speed depending on the amount of kilonewtons that it can produce. This might look a little weird, but let's try it out. There. So if you wanted to adorn it with what looks to be a knife, obviously it's like granite and weird, but there you go. We have what looks to be a cutting board. Next to the butchery table, Because if you were chopping up your meat, you'd butcher and I don't know, whatever. So there's that counter space. The last part of this would be the windows. So I want to make a few leaded windows for the kitchen. So let's get 80 lead nuggets. Stick them in the crucible. Heat them with just firewood. And then pour them in, and we'll be able to get lead. Now, the other thing about that is, once you have the lead ingots, in order to make actually glass windows, we need actual glass. And glass is smelted in a bloomery. So I'm also going to need to pair this task with smelting our first, or making our first bloomery for blooming quartz into glass. So that's the bloomery base, the bloomery top. Oops. And maybe I'll bloom here. So once you have the bloomery built, you'll load up the stuff. Oh, ouch. That's done. Perfect. There we go. Our eternal flame. So once we've got the bloomer base and top, you load it up with the things you want to bloom and heat it up. Maybe here, and I'll cook there. That makes more sense to me. Means I'll put the torch here. I really like the added light in this room, though, because this room was getting dark. Food poisoning adventure story. Eating, like, poisonous stuff is not good for you. That would be the extent of food poisoning mechanic. But, like, raw food just gives you garbage nutrition. It's not going to kill you, though. And here's our molten lead. And that will, of course, become windows eventually. So now in our first bloomery, let's grab the quartz chunks. Load them in. 24 goes in. And you can find the whole guide here in game. So smelting in a bloomery. Oh, wow. Some ores, such as quartz, iron ore, meteoric iron, have a high melting point that cannot be reached using a simple crucible in a fire pit. You'll have to smelt it in a bloomery plus bloomery chimney. Well, that was not exactly the extensive amount of information I was hoping for. But yes, it is not incorrect. High temp metals are bloom only metals. And once you start running a lot of like blooms, that's when your need for charcoal goes up a lot. Because the high temperature metals and materials require a lot more. You can't like preheat them. you know? So they require a lot more fuel per yield unit, or however you want to phrase it. Fire this up, and then just like a pit kiln, it's like a wait a day, and you'll hear crackling and see smoke once you know it's on. Wow, still liquid. I like how it doesn't even say soft. It's straight up just liquid lead. Mmm, yum. Delicious. And the plan is, because this was the kitchen remodel, it will be to put some windows in here. Probably back here, meaning that this and that will move. So that our... Because this doesn't need to be a working surface. While we wait on some of that stuff, we have got a whole bunch of soybeans ready to be moved. Let's also grab flax and check up on our chicks and chickens. God, so much gunk. We're 10 gunk away, 10 rot away from our first run of compost. Alright, the bees haven't repopulated the replacement skeps yet. Ooh, distant lightning. Yeah, you... did one sneak... No. You guys were a little hungry, huh? Time to fatten you up. So, of the chicks... Did you... Oh my god. You slipped through the cracks there. You're just that small. I don't even know your gender. Hello? Go back. Run away from me. There you go. Alright, they've been fed. How did I get... Where did this... What? Why is there dry grass in my hand? Where'd they even come from? But yeah. Very, very, so this is a, let's fix this. Did one? Thought I heard chirping that direction. I think I did. I think one escaped. Oops. Crap. A little overzealous. Kind of smashed up a hen box. I didn't realize they could, like, sneak through. Did one get out? Because we had 3 chicks. I guess I should count the chicks rather than look for one that might not be missing. 1, 2... Yeah, I think 1 snuck out. But finding it at night and dealing with it, not going to be awesome. All right. I didn't mean to make those, like, screw with those chicken eggs, but oh well. got a little bit too smashy. A true overhaul of my organization is like low-key due on the horizon, but I'm not worried about that. At least not right now. Okay, so these are hardened and cold. Good. I thought I put these fence posts away. Dang it. But there's really nothing to do with these until we have the quartz. So I think what I'll do is I'll make another run of lead. And I'm 2 lead shy of like a 3rd batch. Because if we do like the leaded window look, might as well have a bunch of ingots ahead of time. It's really cheap to make them because they're just firewood smelted. It's very low cost. Yeah, I could put a trough in the airlock and then retrap it. That's not a bad idea. Let's make another little food trough to try to capture the chick that went. Oh, that's not the one I want. And then once we recapture it, I can move the trough in. So we'll wait on the leaded windows. I might make some, like, blood dough, so that we don't waste the blood. I'm gonna need to make this gate larger. Which will actually likely solve the problem of escapees anyway. At least lower the chance, perhaps. Oh, hello. It ran off. Where are you going? I'm gonna see if I can't shepherd it back to where it should be. Easier said than done. But you know what? There we go. Problem solved. I know. The big scary man is here. Freaking you all out. And now they have another trough. Works for me. Alright. There's other, like, maintenance-y stuff to do. There's a whole bunch of crops that are ready to be harvested. And then there's the blood dough. So, for the blood dough, I do have a bunch of rice flour. That'll work. So, used up basically all the blood, making blood dough. Which means I am going to need to heat this up. And I think this is where my windows are going to end up. So I'm not going to keep the clay oven there. I'll put it there. I don't really have an idea of where I want things eventually, but... Actually, that's a bad spot because I can't watch it rise as easily. Talk about herding cats, but chicks aren't much easier. No, they're not. Although I managed it. I'm surprised I managed it. Because it could have been a lot more annoying. And I think... let's see. Before I decide to make bread versus something else... Four portions of... So I would need like 8. I don't have the... I have shiitake for like 1 rice blood dough shiitake pie. So maybe I'll make 1 pie and then the rest bread. Oh, yeah, but I can't add it to pies. Why not? Hi. Oh, so what the hell? Vegetable pie. Oh, it only takes like farmed vegetables. I could do soybean pie. Let's do that. I have hella soybeans. And a whole bunch of mature ones out in the farm. Yeah, that'll work. Soybean pie. Tofu pie. What'd you get, pretty? Maybe I'll do another one. I kind of like that. Y'all don't know how much tofu I eat. So much. Alright. My soybean pies are in. I'm just gonna keep doing them. I'm addicted. A lot of protein satiety, which is like not the satiety I need, but there's not a lot of other uses for it anyway, so I mean, might as well. And then this blood dough, I'll just do as loaves. Can you ferment soybeans? You can pickle them. So, pickled soybean is a thing. If you put them in a barrel, a brine barrel, for long-term storage. But there's no sake, as far as I know. Distilling. So, the distilling can do, or condenser can hold like this stuff. So you can kind of see the list of things you can do. Dyes and, you know. Oh, there was a sinew glue there. Oh yeah. Alright, in between waiting for that stuff to rise. Speaking of soybeans. Well, that was too deep. So all the soybeans I just used up, we like instantly replaced. So we'll need to resow this. I think that's the only mature crop out here. It's creepy that you can distill blood. I mean, yeah. I guess there's like blood pudding and other like congealed blood foods. I don't know. You're asking the wrong person about that. Alright, so these pies I'll put away, and then the other pies I can eat. I don't think you're able to make quiche, like an egg veggie pie. I wish. There are certainly mods that you can add if you want like more options for sure. Yeah, too bad no soy sauce. True. In this world, the only umami flavor you get is from salt. For better or for worse. And in here, let's do cassava. That could be something fun to make. There we go. Soybean pie. And then we have the 2 loaves to do last. Because dough does not keep very well. So use it or lose it. Then we have space for 1 more seed. Is there a weird singleton? Pumpkin I can't do. Let's do peanut. Pumpkin requires more than 1 spot because the way pumpkins work, I wonder if the guide tells you. No. But the way pumpkins work is like they'll create a stem and then flop over onto an adjacent tile, so you can't plant it in a 1x1 square. It's too big. My house just got hit by lightning. Well, it's made of rammed earth, so... Eat it, Thor! Can't hurt me. Yet. I mean, maybe. Is this... Oh, okay, there we go. I was like, why is this not cooking? So in the farm, it's mostly flax, few sunflowers, some pineapples, mostly grain, almost exclusively grain. So I could definitely be doing a better job of like changing what nutrition I offer in the farm. I could definitely work towards a little bit more balance for sure. Is this still liquid? Reheat to melt again. Nah, it isn't. Good job, me. Getting distracted. So if you're, whatever metals you have in your crucible, if they ever get too cool, you can just heat them back up again to... it's no problem at all. Bit of a waste of fuel, but in this case it's like firewood, so I don't care. And it was in the wrong slot. It's weird that it, like, cares like that. Alright, there it goes. And this is for the... so that we can make more windows. I could actually do a 3 ingot run of lead. I don't have enough for a full 4, but, like, there's almost nothing else I intend to use for the lead. So, if you're wondering, lead bits can be used to make lead ingots. Lead lamellae. There's no lead armor. That'd be funny. It's like, oh, well, I'm gonna protect me from X-rays or whatever. So it can also be made into lead solder, mixing tin and lead together into a solder, which I don't think I'm gonna need Solder bars. Oh, no, that's not true. If I ever want to do distilling, I will need solder bars. And then it's also an ingredient for molybdenum, whatever, which is just honestly pretty lantern material. It's lead and tin mix, mostly lead, which makes a really dark colored ingot, which then you can turn into a lantern or whatever. For this colored lantern, the molly lanterns. Some people like it. I'm pretty indifferent. All right, so we're waiting on the bloomery for the quartz in order to make the windows. I'm thinking, is there any other maintenance tasks in the base for me to work on? Oh, we have leather. So let's dump this barrel of 2 liters of strong tannin, because that's not enough to do anything with. And then make some more strong tannin, which is going to take a little bit of time. Because it has to be a weak tannin first. And this will come out soon. For this leather, so there's a few different things I could do with it. I can either start working towards armor. I could make another backpack for better storage space, or make a quiver for arrows. So how to use the leather, armor, clothing, armor, quiver, and belt, or backpack. Those are the 3 I want to repurpose it. But leather's been slow going. You know, I mean, to be blunt, we haven't been voting on leather making. So I haven't been hunting in big batches and running big batches of leather through our processing. And the consequence is I just don't have a lot of storage space or leather for anything, any matter. I think I'm going to do something a little weird here. Thank you for tuning in to Vintage Story Primitive Survival, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhodamont.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhodamont.com has linked to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow homesteaders.